Trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Making a transition. I'm on a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission, on a mission, on a mission.
Welcome. This is Alchemizing Energy, and so today, I wanted to do a special show with regards to the African diaspora, traveling. A lot of Black people since Trump has been brought on have decided to leave the country, and and some of it was happening before that. And you had a lot of different people in the diaspora that, left the country. They moved to different places within Africa. And they've been doing this over time, and then you had different African countries that were offering passports and citizenship and all these different things. And you had certain people that went over there and they kind of took their chances and they left the countries and they went to Africa. And so most recently, there's been a scandal going on with a lady from the ADDI, African Development Corporation, or whatever, ADDI, who basically was kind of promising people thousands of people citizenship to Africa, and through Traore and into Burkina Faso. And so what ended up happening is that these people, they paid a certain amount of money to join the ADDI. I think it was like $368. And then there was an additional fee to I guess they were going to have going over there, possibly getting land and all type of different things. And what ended up happening is that, at some point, due to political upheaval and things that are going on over there, Traore decided that he was not going to let the he was not going to allow African Americans to get citizenship over there. Now I'm still not sure what the full story is. I did have T3 and me here, but they're I'm not sure. I think they might be having some. Here they go. I did have them here, and we want to get into is it feasible to come over to Africa with the current state, that we're in? So without further ado, let's bring on T3. That's understood. Please understand, guys, that we are dealing with there's probably, I'm not sure if you guys are using the card to get on the internet or what, but I know sometimes it can be quite choppy. So I think there's a card you have to buy to get a certain amount of megabytes or whatever. So sometimes the internet connection can be choppy. Trust me, I have a lot of friends in Tanzania. So I wanted to get an idea, how hard was it for you? What was the thing that made you guys move to Tanzania? Let's get into that.
Mm-hmm. Well, first, we came over here 5 years ago, and what really prompted us was the George Floyd situation. When we had George Floyd and see that, we decided that, you know what, it's time to roll. Because at the time, our son, he was probably 9 to 10 months. So he was kind of young. And we were trying to figure out, where could we be comfortable as a family how we could get acclimated to the society. And we were in the process of finding a home over in Nashville. Our lease was about to be up. So we went house hunting in a few places, maybe one day, and feel comfortable in any of those places. We was like, okay, wherever we go, we're gonna have to tuck our black in. So let's pray about it and see where we should go. And we sat down and we prayed about it and we just patiently waited. I think a day later, my wife ended up having a dream that we were over here in Africa helping people come back. So when she told me about the dream that she had, I was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. That's what we need to do. We thought about doing it at retirement. We thought, a little bit later in life, we'll be able to come to Africa. But when she had the dream, and due to the circumstances of the climate and the environment that we were in, we knew that it was time for us to come on over here now.
Yeah, and also during this time, I don't know if you guys are familiar with President Magufuli. He was the president of Tanzania during the time of like the pandemic and everything. And he was a real revolutionary leader. I would say he was like the precursor to Captain Ibrahim Traore. He wasn't as militant as he was, but he was a Pan-Africanist. And he embodied the ideals of Pan-Africanism. And so he was like a bastion of freedom during the time when the whole world was shut down. He had his country open, and he was basically fighting against the narrative that they were pushing. He actually went and did some tests, some COVID tests on a goat, a mango, and another piece of fruit. I can't remember. And those tests came back, a papaya, yeah. Those tests came back positive for COVID. And so from there, it was kind of like a hoax or like a gimmick to push the whatever agenda that they were pushing at that time. Because he was actually a scientist as well. So decided to come to Tanzania because we really resonated with what that president was saying at that time. He since passed away a couple of years ago, but Tanzania was started on the principles of Pan-Africanism. The first president of Tanzania was a Pan-Africanist, President Julius Nyerere.
Okay, all right. And so would you guys consider yourself to be Pan-Africanist?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And do you think, because I mean, ever since what about this FBA? Do you also consider yourself also to be FBA? And can a person be FBA and Pan-Africanist at the same time?
Yes.
Yes and no. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Explain.
A lot of people. I'm sorry.
Explain.
Oh, many people that claim FBA, they tend to want to claim it and bash our origins from the continent of Africa. So we feel like our people started from Africa first. Like we migrated over to the Americas first. So it's both. I feel like we come from both sides. So we don't have to bash either side. A lot of FBAs feel like they have to bash people that feel like we're from Africa. I don't know why. I think it's what's the word? It's a coping mechanism, I guess.
And I think that they're scared that their paradigm is falling apart in America. And so they're trying to prevent people from leaving. A lot of people are also just mentally colonized from just feeling like America. Let's face it, like even as Black Americans, we feel like we're superior, like we're on top, because we're from America, we're from a first world country. We have all these skill sets, we have this money. So a lot of people don't want to drop that or let go of it to come to a so-called third world developing nation. But I always say two things can be true at the same time. Like, yes, we were the first Black people on the continent of America, but at the same time, that doesn't negate the fact that civilization began in Africa. That's scientifically proven. I don't know how people can say like the transatlantic slave trade never happened and we're not Africans. It's just crazy. Like they're literally trying to rewrite history. It doesn't make any sense.
So, you know what? You being in Tanzania while all this is going on, what is it like to hear about the things going on in America? I mean, from Africa, because I know I've noticed that there's a lot more African content creators covering what's happening in America, and it seems like a lot of Africans are very aware they seem to be really invested in what is happening with Blacks in America. But at the same point, us on this side, we're being told they don't like you, they don't care, they don't da, 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 da. But I'm seeing a lot of content on YouTube covering blacks and how things are happening to us in America.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's one of the biggest things that we learned when we first came is we were lied to about how our brothers and sisters feel about us.
Mm.
Like they literally love us. They look like they're big brothers and big sisters and big cousins. Like they admire what we're going through, how we overcame a lot in America, and a lot of them don't even understand the fullness of what we're really dealing with. So when we come over here and we talk to them, they're very welcoming. They're like, "Oh, my brother's home, my sister's home. Like, welcome home.
Welcome to Africa."
Yeah. As soon as they find out you from America, they're ready to welcome you with open arms. So it's not, I'm not gonna lie and say you don't meet, people that's trying to take advantage of you too. There are people as well that say, "Oh, my brother coming from America, I can get some money." Some people do move like that as well, but for the overwhelming majority, they love us and they're welcoming us and ready to try and work with us and see how we can do something together.
Yeah, we're like I would say, like, if I had to like parallel it to a relationship, we're like the big brothers of Africa. Like when they see us, they see like their long lost brother. They see somebody that they look up to because they watch the media, they watch the TV shows, they watch us be at the forefront of cultural movements, of TV, of movies, of glamour and all this stuff. So they really look up to us. But like you said, at the same notion, there are some who may feel envious or jealous of that. But for the most part, I would say like 70 to 80% of the people that I meet on the continent are very welcoming and happy to have us here.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a myth. So even so do you think that this whole FBA movement with Tariq Nasheed is also beginning to get over there? And do you think that the Africans that are over there are beginning to feel like we feel this, that all blacks are feeling like the same sentiment as the FBA and beginning to then like start to like have some feelings towards us about that? Or do you think that people are still kind of like, I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware of that whole FBA thing that happens with Tariq Nasheed and how there's like kind of like this tether thing that people are called. And are you aware of that part?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I don't really know Tariq Nasheed. I don't really know too much about him, but I've heard his name being thrown around the space. But I would say, like, as far as I have heard that whole FBA argument, I've seen that they wanted to boycott African shops like a couple of weeks ago. And I've seen their comments. They comment on our videos all the time, like, you guys are American Indians, y'all are cowards for leaving. Africa's not our land. They don't even want us over there. And all this stuff that's going on YouTube with the back and forth and people calling people scammers and stuff, they are so happy about that. They're celebrating it. Like, oh, see, I told y'all we shouldn't be going to Africa. Look at them, like, so it's like they're feeding off of this. Like it's like a bloodthirst for a lot of them. I'm not going to say
I think that is crazy for this, after all this time that people have fought to try to unify us. Now there's like this in one foul swoop. Now things are just beginning to just dismantle, and I feel like it's like a movement to make us not unified. Why do you think they want us not to? Because I remember before there was like the same rhetoric not to go over to Africa. It was a third world country. It's a mess. Don't go over there. It seems like we're getting back to that kind of rhetoric of, oh, don't go over there. They're over there. They got flies on them, and they're everybody's in poverty, and they're living in mud huts. And at first that was the thing. Now it's they don't like you. Don't go over there. Blah blah blah. Why do you think they're purposely trying to keep Africans in America? Because they know that there's a bigger chance of us starting to leave America and wanting to go over to Africa?
Yeah. I'll touch on it and I will let you. Yeah, because it's like they continue to push the buck. Like when they say one thing and then you prove them wrong, they take that, they twist it, and they turn it into something else. And then once you prove that wrong, or prove them to be false, or prove that narrative to be a lie, they go with something else. So it's like a never-ending cycle, always continuously chasing the narrative, and it's by design. We actually talked about the national.
I'm sorry, my daughter doesn't care that I'm live. She's mad because whatever working. She don't care what I'm doing. It's whatever she's got going on. I don't know why
How
this
old
where this. She's 7. Say hello to everybody, child. Here, say hi. Because you gonna just interrupt the whole show.
Hi.
Say, honey, I don't know where this music's coming from. Just cut the whole phone off and restart it. I don't know. Yeah, restart the phone and okay, thank you. She don't care. I don't care what show you like. What? Who care what show you got going on? The phone is playing and I'm crying. So, anyways, so
Yeah.
go ahead. So what were y'all saying? I'm sorry. Where were we at?
We were talking about the national security memorandum that was issued by the White House, the CIA, and different governmental agencies from the 70s, from 19. And in it, the subject of this particular memorandum in Africa, and basically, they deem that our unity, so Pan-Africanism, is a national security threat. It's a threat to U.S. interests. And so their recommendations to stop us from uniting was to sow distrust within different Black movements or organizations between the members and their leaders by labeling the leaders as frauds, as scammers, and just generally sowing distrust, and also making us all look crazy on the world stage so that people say, like, don't even want to have anything to do with it. And so you can find
Wow,
this on the White House.
there's an actual
And so this
CIA.
is a carefully orchestrated plan. And what you're seeing now is just it happening in real time.
That is crazy. I had no idea that they had there's an actual CIA
Yes.
movement for
Yes.
It's
that. Is
documented,
crazy.
well documented. So this is like,
Wow.
We can send it to you as well. So you.
Yeah,
So what
send it.
we're dealing with is a coordinated effort. My wife and I, we took it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, send it to me. I said send me the document because I never knew this existed. I knew it was something because I said
I
it
was
seemed
saying,
like it's the
at
that
first,
like even Tariq Nasheed is like seeming like he is working for like getting paid by someone because it's too much of an effort to like to call people tethers and to separate the Caribbean from the and my thing is we're more powerful together by us coming together than we can't fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? If we make the Caribbeans hate us, we make the Africans hate us, we make the Chinese, the Spanish, everybody hates us. We call them tethers. Then who? Then well, we just got ourselves, and we really ain't got no unity anyway. So why would we create a situation where we make everybody our enemy?
because
You know?
somebody's getting paid for it, somebody's benefiting from it, and it's they need us separated to continue to keep getting money from us. They want us in their system, continuing to work, continuing to feed the entire system. So they need us separated. So it's my wife and I. We took it lightly when we started. We was very naive. We were very like we didn't think what we were doing was that powerful. But after the attacks, after everything we went through, we learned like, okay, no, we're really like a part of this movement. Like we really in the thick of on the front lines in Africa. Literally, we're on the front lines dealing with agents and evil spirits that's trying to tear this down. So it's real. It's real for us to come back home, but we're up against real entities trying to stop us. And they don't want us to come back because once we do come back, we will be able to heal ourselves and do for ourselves and create our own industry. So they don't really want that.
You know what?
It's
When you
not
talk
in their
about that,
best
like
interest for us to pick ourselves up and figure it out on our own.
yeah, and then they'll no longer be able to exploit the resources in Africa, because if we're all together, and y'all already know, when Black Americans, diasporans come back to Africa, we got that fire in us. Like we're not gonna let anybody be stealing our resources, taking advantage of us. So they don't want that. They know if we come back, we're
You know, and I thought I'm thinking about that because over here we're not forced to be as in touch with the land as we are. It would we probably would be in Africa, where we would have to probably
Can
be
you hear?
more.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
there's
go
a
ahead. You
slight
were saying something.
there's a slight delay, so I'm not sure exactly how to manage the delay. So I'll just make a long pause just in case, it's taking a second for it to get to you guys. But what I was saying is that like what I've seen even with you guys is that you're working in your land, you're into the herbs and everything like this. And this is something I think is important to be able to bring back to our community by going over to Africa and learning about the certain herbs that are over there and having access to those herbs that can heal us over here and everywhere. The main thing I really wanted to take away from this interview was to talk about the fact that that a lot of the stuff that you might hear, people going bad on them and calling them and saying that they're doing this, doing that. A lot of that stuff, it could be a setup. It could be that these people are really genuine, trying to help people. Sometimes things slip through the cracks. Um, Sometimes it could be tough. So here, let me in the meantime, while we're doing that, let me do this because it's been kind of hard trying to do this interview because of the fact that we have like a slow connection going on in Africa right now. I'm not sure if I scheduled this at the wrong time because of it might be too many people on here. Okay, guys.
Yes, can you hear us better now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay.
There was a slight delay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. So did you hear what I was saying about the herbs and how like having herbs and stuff like that, like being able to be close to the land also allows you to have a better connection to the earth, I believe, and to the herbs. Can you kind of get into that and how your current thing of like, learn, I think your wife's an herbologist, right?
Yeah. Yeah, herbal practitioner. But I'll start and I'll let her finish.
Okay.
I like to say most times that when we come back to Africa, this is the ultimate healing that we could receive. If we stay over in America, it's like you can take your herbs, you could, sort of do things to try and heal, but there's always going to be something that, causes a traumatic response. Like you can go through a certain city and see a name of a Confederate soldier that they still have plastered, and that could, cause something within us. There's still plantations that's national parks.
There's still white people walking around.
Right.
A bunch of them.
Right. It's still crazy white people that get away with things, so you can't even go in environments and fully be able to heal. When you come here, you're not in that environment anymore, for one. You're not around those same toxic people, so you're really able to really decompress, really heal, and really take advantage of the herbs that's here on the land.
Yeah. And I really feel like we do need to come back and heal because there's a lot of herbs here that, for one, they don't even really let you grow anything in America. A lot of the trees and the plants and everything have been poisoned as well. They're spraying chemicals everywhere. So even if you are growing things, it's not necessarily organic, and you may be poisoning yourself, more so than helping yourself. I'm not going to say there's no pesticide used in Africa, but it's a lot more organic. There's a lot of indigenous trees that are here to heal us. We got moringa, neem, baobab, hibiscus, lemongrass. A lot of these herbs, the populations here, they take it regularly in their diet. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them are a lot more healthier, especially the people who live in the rural areas. They're a lot more healthier than us. They're outside. They're getting fresh air. They're not sitting in the house all day breathing in the same stale air. There's sun, so you're not going to be vitamin D deficient, which causes a lot of illnesses and especially like immune-related diseases. So there's like so many reasons. I can go on and on why we should come back to Africa to heal.
I think that's a great reason why. And I think that also, it's interesting that people are blocking that. And it's crazy to me that as much as Tariq Nasheed traveled, he's been to all these countries in Africa. He has a younger audience, And then the rhetoric that's going on with this FBA thing is making people like, I ain't my country. I ain't going to Africa. And I'm like, bro, the person that started FBA has been all throughout and up and through Africa.
And doesn't he make content about? I think I watched like one of his movies before. Didn't he do like a whole series on like Africa or something like that?
I am so confused. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how did you go from to Pan-Africanism is dead? Huh?
Didn't he get he got in trouble with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, didn't he?
I think so. At some point, I think so. You know, hell,
So
I think
maybe that has a tie into it or something. Maybe he's been incentivized to keep his freedom or something, to sow discord and push the movement apart. Maybe, I don't know.
You know, all I know is it's interesting when she said about the CIA that there's a whole document saying that Pan-Africanism is a threat and it must be dismantled at all costs, and that the people that are at the head of it need to have their things to be looked like it's a scam and this, that, the other. And that's exactly what is happening. And then you guys are experiencing it yourself. You guys are being called scam artists and this, that, the other. Do you want to kind of get a little bit into the fact that people are saying these things about you? I know you covered it. Some people might not know, but I know O'Shea Duke, when he did his tirade yeah, go ahead.
I would say, for one, most scammers try to hide themselves. Scammers aren't on public platforms showing their lives and showing the ins and outs of things and, trying to help people. Most scammers are in the cut and you won't really see their faces. So we have no reason to scam anyone. We have a tremendous skill set of knowledge. Thanks to the Most High, we've been able to learn a lot of things and been able to figure out how to use our gifts to help a lot of people. So we just, unfortunately, helped the wrong-minded individuals. We were young and naive in what we were doing, and we didn't vet everyone properly. So we allowed, the wrong individuals too close to what we had going on, and they found ways to try to pick things apart and sabotage what we were working on. And one of the ways to sabotage it was to lie on what we were trying to do. So that's unfortunately what we had to deal with in this season, but it taught us a valuable learning experience, and it just taught us how to help better. Because we're still going to help, we're still going to keep moving forward, but we just have to put certain parameters in place, and we know how to see those who are coming with the wrong spirits now before we get in too deep into certain situations.
Yeah, and I think our people, when things don't go exactly according to plan, when there's maybe a slight detour or something may take longer than what was expected, our people automatically will label it as a scam instead of understanding that Africa is a continent that's under reconstruction right now. We're at the rebuilding stage. Things are fluid. Things are changing. Policies are changing. Initiatives are changing. Everything is changing, and people aren't understanding that. And so people like some of the YouTubers, they will see these things and they will see it as an opportunity to capitalize off the situation, to make it sound worse than what it is, to do things for clicks and views, to clout chase, to position themselves as the so-called leaders of the space and try to run with certain narratives. But in order for you to label anyone as a scammer or a thief or a fraud, they will have to actually be proven in court to be that thing. And none of that has ever been proven. It's always half-truths, videos clipped together, things taken out of context. It's always like bits and pieces of stuff. It's never like a concrete ruling that said, oh, this person was actually accused of a scam. It's never that, Right. And then come to find out, like if somebody does go to court, they're oftentimes vindicated. They are ruled as not being a scammer, but nobody ever comes back and follows up. People aren't doing real
and corrects it. And corrects their error. And so speaking of that, so with that, let's get into this ADDI situation. So now you have a bunch of people, like 1,000 people or more, sign up for ADDI. Now, first I want to ask, do you think that in particular was a scam or an oversight? Do you think it was just an oversight?
I don't think it was a scam. I think that from what she said that initially Captain Ibrahim Traore had offered citizenship to the diaspora by presidential decree. So it's going to be his own personal saying, hey, you guys can come get citizenship in my country. However, the parliament, which is, I guess they can override with the president, just like, in America, we have checks and balances. They decided that, hey, for whatever reason, we're not going to offer the citizenship right away. We're going to give them a pathway to citizenship. So we're going to offer permanent residency, which if anybody knows what permanent residency, that's like a stone throw away from citizenship. You basically have like almost all of the things that a citizen can have, which I understand that was a disappointment. I'm not going to take that away from anybody. I understand that people spent their money, but I don't think she intentionally set out to say, hey, I'm going to lie and say that this man offered a citizenship and then how would that benefit her? She's someone in a public space,
And she's a doctor, isn't she? Wouldn't that like kind of destroy her practice as a doctor? Everything about her, like her whole name.
Exactly.
And then I'm thinking, honestly, they may see everything that's going on, and I mean, why would they open up their doors to a bunch of, I'm gonna call it like this, niggas that's acting like this?
Some. Yeah.
Like, people are online acting crazy, and some people, they think that they're ready to come to Africa, but coming over here and really being on the ground is completely different from watching a video and hearing someone give you something emotionally empowering. It's different when you get over here on the ground. So I don't think it was a scam, but I don't think everybody should come right now. From what I've experienced from, us helping people, and then when it don't go the way that they wanted to go or thought it would go, it's a scam. Like, if they went to Burkina Faso, the state that it's in now, with citizenship, they'll be trying to knock on the door to talk to Ibrahim Traore, to complain about flies or something. So some people aren't ready just yet. Yeah. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, and there's always people who are trying to sabotage stuff. Like, even before this happened, there was a lady, I don't know who she is, but she sent an email to all of us, like all of the leaders, the YouTubers who are like in the, that Pan-African space. She sent a letter to us and tagged Ibrahim Traore, the parliament, all the governmental entities in Burkina Faso, just saying crazy stuff about us getting citizenship. So I'm pretty sure they read that and it was like, oh, these are the type of people that are trying to come over here. Like, like this is the backstory that people don't have. So when we come out here
so
and say,
she tagged Traore in the whole government cabinet.
And us
and all of the YouTubers, the big YouTubers who are like doing like content about Africa, tagged everybody and CC'd everybody in the email, the parliament, the whoever, all the people from the government, including Ibrahim Traore. It was crazy. I was like, I can't believe it.
And what did she say?
I was going to say, it was a small misunderstanding that she could have talked to ADDI about. Like, she could have directly communicated with them and been a little patient, and she probably would have got her answer. But she was demanding a refund, and she was upset about something, so she decided to tag everyone to sort of get her point across.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure that has something to do with why they said, hold on, let's vet everybody. Let's see who all these people are, so we make sure that we're not letting in people like that. Because look at their country. Look at the state their country's in. They don't need people who are going to be expecting, like first world things in a developing country in a situation that's just getting off the ground. Like they're just offered that citizenship, like which now is permanent residency. And like, again, I want to say, I'm not going to take away from the fact that people are upset. You have every right to be upset because that was an initial offer, but you can't just try to scapegoat her and say she set out. A scam is when somebody sets out to intentionally deceive someone. I don't believe that she did that. I don't believe that.
And just to touch on what I said again, I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to deter people from coming to Africa or, talk down on Burkina Faso. I just know it takes a certain individual with a certain mindset to come over here right now. If you're not ready to build, do not come over here yet.
Don't set yourself up.
Don't set yourself up, because you're going to be messed up and mad in a lot of situations that's underdeveloped, and you will be very frustrated because you want certain amenities and they're not in place yet. if you're not someone who's ready to try and build those amenities out, if you're not someone who see issues and say, okay, how can I fix this? What can I do to make this situation better? Then don't come over here yet, because the continent isn't ready for you yet. The continent is ready for the builders, those who are ready to roll their sleeves up and not complain and get the work done. The people in Burkina Faso right now, the people are helping build the roads. It's not the government. It's not. I'm sure there's entities that's getting paid, but I've heard the people are sacrificing their time, effort, and energy and putting bricks down on the road. So if you're not somebody who's ready to do something like that, the continent not ready for you in this season. Maybe later, for definitely later. Now it's time for the pioneers and those who are willing to go through the unfortunate situations, the uncomfortable seasons to develop something. That's who it's time to come right now.
Yeah, and just give it some time. Like, it's permanent residency now. Who knows? Next year, in a couple of months, it can be citizenship. Like, just allow situations to play out. Like, people are so premature. They're so ready to just jump down someone's throat and it's not done right now, right away. It's like, relax, allow the process to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
With your residency,
You think
go
it's
over there
also
and get the work.
probably because you think that also, but probably because the leader of ADDI took so long to respond and say, "Hey guys, don't worry. It's gonna be the woo, 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 woo," you know. Do you think that's also on her part that she that allowed that kind of you know, I guess what's the word, frantic, you know, response from everybody
Yeah.
because of her delay in response?
I don't want to speculate on when, because I think I listened to her her response to everything, and from what she said that she got the information on a Friday and she had called a meeting by like that Sunday or Monday, which was a few days later. So I don't want to say like what the time frame was, because I honestly don't know. I wasn't there. But I'm pretty sure like once she got the information, she had to meet with her team to see how they were going to move forward. You can't just get information and then call a meeting with the whole organization. You have to meet with your inner team to figure out how are we going to do this, like how are we going to move forward. So she couldn't have if she got the information on Friday, she couldn't call a meeting and let everybody know immediately. You have to readjust, figure out what's our next steps and how we're going to move forward and everything like that. So
So in Tanzania, I did some research, and I do also want to say is that I think it's also important. It's great to have organizations to go through to get to different countries, but people should also try to visit on their own. Do you think that's an important thing to just visit before you try to do any business in the country? Visit first. You know, I don't understand this thing of just without sight unseen signing up for a organization and have never and oh, you're going to get land and you don't even know what that land is. You don't know what the conditions are around the land. You don't speak the language. I mean, there's so many different reasons why a lot of that stuff probably would have failed anyway.
I would say it depends on the individual, honestly.
Yeah.
If you are a seasoned investor, if you're someone who understands travel and you've been, you've been outside of the country a little bit, not necessarily Africa or even Africa. If you've been outside the country, then it's okay to come over here. I mean, just buy land not without seeing it, but I guess without seeing it. But you would still see it at the same time. So I would say it depends on the individual. If you're someone who's new to this, come here first.
Or that's all your money.
Yeah.
You're like penny pinching. Don't do that, because then you're like stressing yourself out, and you're gonna stress out everybody around you. But like if you have enough money, you put aside a couple of $1,000, $1,000. Say I want to buy this land. Everybody's situation is different, but don't deceive yourself. I think some people deceive themselves. They talk themselves into saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to live out on the land. I'm going to do off grid," and they don't even know how to do anything off grid. And so when they get there, they become disillusioned, disenchanted, and then they're looking for someone to blame because they no longer want to do whatever project that they signed up for.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even know what to do if the electric company cut their electric and gas off. They'd be up there crying. So you I'm gonna go off grid. Man, get out of here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you never even been camping for a day. Like,
right. Ain't never been camping.
So know yourself.
Yeah, know yourself and take responsibility for your own actions. We're all grown, like I seen people saying like, "Oh, Why would they send people into a war-torn country? You don't think? I think people should have sense enough to know that Burkina Faso is fighting terrorists in like the northern part of the country and that they speak French. Like, if people haven't done this basic level of research, then that's crazy. Like, but we got to stop pacifying people. Like, everybody's an adult. No one's forcing anybody to move to Africa or to sign up for these initiatives. People are doing it on their own, and they should go into it with full understanding of what's actually going on the ground and that things are fluid. So things can change at any moment. This is a developing country. I want to keep stressing that. It's not developed like America, where things are in place and systems have been put down. And largely that's because of us, the work we've done. So we can do the same way we built up America and made it up to a first world country and modern and all this stuff. We can do the same thing on the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
So you guys are in Tanzania. Do you guys find any I think, is Tanzania a Muslim are they Muslim country?
It's a large population of Muslims, but the mainland is majority Christian, and then the second majority religion is Muslim. However, if you go to the island of Zanzibar, they're a majority Muslim over there. But where we stay at, it's majority Christian. But there's a lot of Muslims who live here as well.
Okay, so you don't. So the rules and everything are not like you got to walk around with a burqa on and all this different stuff like that, like a head wrap.
Oh,
no.
No.
If you're Muslim.
Yeah, only the Muslims do that. Yeah.
So what? And I did also hear that they don't necessarily give you land. You only get like a 99-year. What is it called? A 99-year lease or something like that.
So they give you what they do. They give you derivative rights to the land. So over here, they basically, the president owns the land, and you have derivative rights to use it if you pay for it and everything. So basically, it's just like in America. People like to say, "Oh, you don't really own anything," but you don't really own anything in America either. If you don't pay your taxes one year, then they come in and take that from you. So here they technically feel like you don't own it anyway. God owns it, so you're just leasing it from God to do what you're supposed to do with it. So that's the perspective that they have when they say foreigners can't own land. Even the locals, quote unquote, don't own land. You leasing it from God to do something with it.
And then you just renew it every 99 years. You can renew the derivative rights to your land. So essentially, you do own it. It's just really like a play on words.
Yeah. So I mean, and if you teach your kids that's staying in there to continue to renew the lease, then they should be able to continue to renew, right? Or be grandfathered in or something like that. Yep. Are you guys living off of your own land right now, or are you living in like a house somewhere off, that's got just a nice area?
So right now we're living in a house. We're transitioning to our land and everything, but right now we're currently in the house in town.
So do you guys already have the land, but you guys have the house too? So you got the land, but you got to develop it. So you live in the house, you develop the land at the same time?
No, we're not in the house on the land yet.
Yeah,
okay.
We don't live on our land yet. Yeah, we're just still building on our land. Like, we have a fence and a borehole out there, but we haven't actually put like a house structure on our property yet.
How difficult is it to work with the local people with actually trying to build that, or do you kind of have to rely on other American expats to help you?
It's not difficult. It's just about having the capital and having someone in between that communicates, that helps you communicate your point clearly. That's the most important part. As long as you have the capital in place and you have someone that's a bridge for you to be able to communicate effectively to get it done, then it's not that hard.
You know what I'm gonna say this? It ain't no different than over here when you want to get something. You ride over to Home Depot and you see all those Mexicans out there, and you got to find the main one that can speak Spanish, and then get them to come and do whatever you need to do. Okay?
Exactly. And get their team together. Yeah, exactly.
And I would just say what makes it difficult, and just to give clarity, some people, they come here and they flash all of the money that they have and want to pay the workers everything up front or a large lump sum up front. Now, sometimes it's okay to give a percentage, but most times it's better to just pay per day. Like, if you have all your money, just set it out to the side and pay those individuals for the work that they do that day. So that way they will continue to come to work and still put in the maximum amount of effort. Because if you give them a nice lump sum, sometimes they don't complete the jobs and they disappear. That's where the issues come in. And we think that we can just give a nice lump sum and they'll still work. And sometimes they don't do that. So you have to pay them their daily bread respectfully, but try not to do too much. And that way your project will go a lot smoother than if you do it the other way.
Yeah, or pay them in stages. So, like if you're building a house, you just pay them for the foundation first. When they're done with that, now we're going to pay you for, the middle part. And then after that, we're going to pay you for the roof. So you're not just giving people money, because what can happen is if you meet somebody that's unscrupulous, they can take your money and buy materials that aren't of a good quality and pocket the rest of the money. So that's another thing. You want to go and buy your materials, or someone that's trustworthy, have them buy your materials so that you're getting quality materials. So there's ways to do it to where you protect yourself and you don't find yourself losing out on money or being taken advantage of.
I also heard that for the most part, when Black Americans go over to Africa, people overcharge them. There's like a whole thing where like they can see you a mile away. You don't necessarily blend in as much as you think you do. And a lot of times you go to the market, you go here and whatever, you go there, and they like, okay, that's going to be extra, double the price for you, so.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yes, it is true, but it also happens to the local people as well. If they see that you have a certain status in their mind, then they're going to try and get more out of you. And just because they're doing that, that doesn't mean cry about not coming back to Africa. We are in America getting taken advantage of on a much larger scale.
The IRS taxing us as we speak.
Man, much larger scale. So because somebody want to get an extra 50 cents or $1 for some fruit, bro, just if you don't want to pay it, you can negotiate and tell them no. You don't have to cry about it and say, oh, they just want to, no. It's not about us. It's not just for us. It's for the locals as well. So if you don't want to pay it, just don't pay it. But don't act like that's a reason for you not to come over here, because they're going to charge you a little bit extra for some fruit here and there or other things.
At least you can argue with them. If you go to Walmart, you can't be like, no, I'm not paying $50 for that apple. That's the price and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Right. At least over here, you be like, hey, look, I ain't going to pay. You just got to learn how to haggle. No, I ain't. No. What about this? And that's, it teaches you how to kind of go back and forth. And that's what that's what they almost want you to do that. You don't have to take the first price.
If you asking them the price, they already know that you're not a local. So that's another thing. You need to learn the prices of things in your wherever environment you're in. Like in the country, there's like set prices for most things. So if you're asking them what the prices, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. Like so now I don't even ask. I already know the price. I'm just gonna give you the money and walk away. Or expect my change. So. You there?
I'm sorry, I got a phone call. Yeah, so another thing is that when you another thing that I heard is that when you actually go over there, it's you have to kind of, when you're doing business, like you don't expect to get a job over there. Like they're not going to hire you to work over there or nothing like that. You're going to have like your own way of making money. Whether it be from over here or whatever you're going to do, you better have your own income base. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, we would say, yeah, it's true. But if you have certain certifications, if you have like a high level certification, I think you could potentially get a job. If you
create a job.
Yeah, or create one. Yes, you could probably go into if you're a high paying nurse or something and you have a certain set of degrees, you can go there and market yourself in a way where you can create a job within that hospital.
Or you can transfer your licenses, especially if you're doing like healthcare, like nursing. Yeah. You can transfer your license over. But you can get a job, technically. I teach at schools locally. I teach like herbal medicine courses. So there's always pathways for you to work here, just about being creative and putting yourself out there. He also works for Remax. Doing real estate, so that's considered a job, I guess. Even though he's like a private, realtor. But there's ways where you can work here. I wouldn't say like you can't just like get like in America how you can just jump up and get like a retail job or a call center job and it's super easy. I wouldn't say it's not like that here. You know, like you're gonna have to go and search out people, meet different people, see where the opportunities are. They're not as obvious as it
So is it
is.
like you have to create your own opportunity out there? It's not necessarily like you would find a job. It would be like you create something and then you say, okay, this is what I'm able to do. Is that kind of how the whole society works? Or is it just like for Americans?
Most of the people here work, you know, like they have to hustle for themselves. They're either entrepreneurs or they're selling stuff on the streets. Some people have jobs, but the jobs here don't pay much. So even if you're like a doctor, you're only making like $400 or $500 a month. You know,
Whoa.
so yeah, a lot of people here they work. They figure out they create their own ways, you know, to sustain themselves because there aren't even a lot of job opportunities. A lot of the younger generation they graduate from college, they're working at the supermarket, just like in America, you know. So it's like there aren't really a lot of per se jobs here. You have to go and create your own way, even for the locals.
So that's probably what people actually think when they come into America and they see that they have to kind of get it out the mud in Africa. But then over here, everything is kind of already set up. Okay, get a job here, work Wendy's, da da da, make a little more, da da da. It's like that's not the setup over there. So it's like they'll see that, oh man, all this opportunity out here, and you guys are not taking advantage of it. And then we go into that and say, all this opportunity over here, and you got, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the actual community. What is the expat community like over there? Do you like is it? I mean, are there different groups? Is everybody kind of working together, or do you have to kind of be on your own?
Man.
You want the truth?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Yes.
I can't speak for every country. I'll just speak for Tanzania. The expat community is a hot mess
Wow.
in Tanzania. A lot of the people, they just there's a large religious uh, expats in Tanzania. Hebrews or Christians. I hear like an echo.
I just muted my mic. Is it still going on?
Okay. No, it's not. So they have like Sabbath gatherings, and a lot of these Sabbath gatherings they use it as opportunity to just bash people, bash other people in the community, talk about people. Yeah, that's what they do. When they get together and have their little groups, they ostracize people, talk about people, slander people. Everybody's like clicked up, you know, it's just a mess. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we behaving like, you know, like we're in high school? Everything is very cliquish. It's very drama filled. It's very crabs in a barrel mentality. Like, and you would expect the opposite coming to Africa. That's where we were naive at. We were thinking like, oh, we're in Africa, we're all gonna work together. And no, it's that same crabs in a barrel mentality from a lot of the expats here. Not everybody. There's some people who are over here, they're doing good. They've opened up businesses, restaurants.
Oh man, we was on a roll, and then you can start messing with that phone. When you start messing with the phone, child.
Okay, hold on one second.
Let's start messing with the phone and get it out. Would it just die? Hold on, let me see.
Okay, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So you know, from what I see online, it seems like a lot of the expat communities are like that. And it's really unfortunate because we got together. A lot of the movements are being sabotaged from within. So what a lot of the so-called leaders of these organizations have done is they've just abandoned some of the projects or just recalibrated it to where it's not so heavily involved with other expats. You know, like sometimes they have to take their own path more towards working with the local or just doing things in such a way where some of the expats heavily involved because of how they're acting and their mindset mentality.
Yeah. And we're in this situation because of what we've gone through as a we've learned that, we don't take it to heart anymore. Though it hurts, it was extremely frustrating because we came over here to try and help and build alongside them. We've learned that because we grew up in that society, it's sort of like the Exodus in the Bible. The first people that came out, they couldn't really get it because they was fighting each other. They was worried about the wrong stuff. They was really trying to go back begging for food in the captivity that they came from. It was a lot of mess. So we understand that our people have been broken, our people have been lied to, our people have been done wrong. So we've been taught to hate each other, we've been taught to fight each other, and we've been taught to not work together. Fortunately, a lot of the older people that we've come in contact with, they have really been the Kool-Aid of America, and they come here and they turn into the same people that we are trying to get away from and build away from. They feel like because they have their retirement checks or because they have a nice lump sum of money, they are able to come over here and throw their weight around their money and not be respectful and understand the culture and really listen to the wisdom that's coming from the continent. Though you're older, though you have a nice lump sum of money, because someone has been here longer than you, they have a little bit more wisdom than you. It's not disrespect. It's just the fact of the matter. And some of our people, they'll watch our content for years, then get here and want to disrespect us and say, I got it from now, basically. You can get face. You ain't got to, I don't need no more. Don't try to scam me. I don't need, don't take money. No.
Use our contact to contact the people in our network that we connected them with. Try to group up, try to overtake. None of it has ever worked. It's just like the same thing over and over. And it's unfortunate that in Tanzania, I'll just speak for Tanzania as far as this is concerned, but it's like the older people, they are not all of them, a lot of them, they have this mindset and they're not flexible. They want things like cut and dry. Like they don't care. Like if it's not gone exactly the way you said, exactly on the timeline, they're automatically saying, "Oh, that's a scam," And they get together in groups. They have WhatsApp groups, they have email threads. It's like very childish. It's very childish.
Yeah. So we recommend that people need to. First thing that you need to do when you come to Africa is stay at your house. And stay away from the Americans.
Stay at the house. Say it because you guys are breaking up a little bit. Stay at whose house?
Stay at your own house.
Stay at your own house.
Stay away from the Americans as much as you can.
Don't
trying to build a community with the Americans because a lot of us are still healing right now. Mm-hmm. Focus on healing your family. Focus on staying in your house, and not just in your house. I mean, your family and to yourself. And you will be led to those you're supposed to work with. You're supposed to connect with. Don't go out searching for wolves out. And what's happening is they're being put into situations where they really don't understand what's going on. The wolves are just planting seeds of negativity, seeds of doubt, seeds of fear, seeds of hatred, seeds of gossip. You just being planted all of that because you went around the wrong group of people.
Yeah.
So we recommend stay away, heal your family, heal what your wife got to deal with, heal what you and your husband got to deal with, heal your family. So that way, when we come together in this rightful season, we won't hurt each other like we did. My wife and I, we went through a lot of pain from trying to help people that's still broken. We were stabbed, not literally, but we were done so wrong for being wide open and trying to help people. That was our only mistake. So we just like to tell people, don't make that mistake and be so gullible and think, oh, they speak English, so let's connect with them. Oh, they say shalom, let's connect with them. No, give yourself time, see what that person is really doing, see what they're truly about before you get involved with them and try and do too much.
Right. Wow. Man, so and I definitely want to bring you back. It's been an hour. I don't like to do too long with my, interviews because I like to let the information breathe. I want to definitely bring you guys back to give more information. And really talk about some of the things that you guys have going on. The main thing I did want to do is just give an introduction and really dispel this whole Pan Africanism is a scam thing. Really talk about the Ibrahim Traore thing. Really get into the whole, like, because I mean, O'Shea Duke, he's been speaking out a lot more. And this is where I'm seeing where you have people over in Africa where they're not unified. And then they get to talk out against each other. And I'm like, well, man, this is tribalism. We're bringing that same behavior over into Africa that we have over here. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand what the purpose is. I mean, if he's over there in Kenya, why is he so focused on you guys in Tanzania? Isn't Kenya and Tanzania two different countries?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is Africa really that connected where, like, people are really like that all up in each other's business? Like, the Nigerians is really concerned about Ibrahim Traore, and people in Kenya is worried about what's going on in Nigeria, because okay, and them, they are already Pan-Africanists, Is it really like that nosy, or is what's going on? Like, I don't understand it. Oh, you guys froze again. Here we go. So that's the part that I don't get, is that, if you have one group of people that are organizing people and doing things in their place over here in Tanzania, why would another content creator in Kenya then come in and talk bad about them? And I'm not sure if has he even tried to talk to them at all. I wonder if O'Shea Duke has ever tried to talk to T3andMe and really get their side of the story, or has he just heard it through the grapevine just like everybody else? You know what I'm saying? So what I was saying is, I'm wondering if O'Shea Duke, did he ever talk to you or try to talk to you guys about y'all's situation? Or have you guys ever spoken to each other?
Who is that?
O'Shea Duke Jackson?
Who's that?
You've never heard of? Oh, you're being silly.
No, man. I was on the live stream, and one of our audience members subscribers told us that what was going on. So it was a wave of people that was on their lives talking about us for like 2 months straight. So we were pulling up like, hey, you're talking about us, we're in the comments, let us on so we can talk. Like, we don't mind talking about what's going on because we haven't done anything wrong. So as he was talking, I'm in the comments like, hey brother, look, you got the wrong information. Listen, just reach out, let's talk so that we can have a conversation, so that I can give you everything that's going on so you can hear the truth of the matter, or at least my perspective, so you can understand what's really going on. He said, no, I don't want to talk to you. I already know what's going on. And basically went on a rant. So that's when we really knew what was going on and what, Is
this the most recent rant or a rant before this?
No, this was right before he started doing the videos. I reached out like, hey, bro. He was live one day talking about a few other people, and my name came up.
Right.
So I jumped in and was like, hey, bro, look, let's have a conversation so we can get to the bottom of things. And he basically on the live was like, nah, I already know what's going on. I got something for you coming up, and just be patient, basically.
Yeah, but it's like.
Is it more like be patient? I think I know what's going on a positive note now, or
no? It was basically, I'm finna tear you down. Like, I got you.
Like, so if y'all don't stop defending yourselves, if we don't stop defending ourselves, he's gonna go in on us. Like, we supposed to be scaring him. Like, I'm just like, who are you? Like, you're not somebody I'm not gonna talk badly about him.
But we need to. That's crazy, y'all. That's not unity. I don't understand. So they want to go against Pan-Africanism, but then they want to sow these seeds of discord, and that's the better way to go about it? He's doing, that's the way to do it? So bump Pan-Africanism, it's all a scam, but let me get online and let me trash talk the people that are over here trying to do something. I would say, hey, maybe sit down and, hey, what might be the issue? Let's sort it out. What might have been the problem that you guys
do?
That should be a red flag for everybody who's watching that. Like, somebody that's not interested in, even when you're supposedly like an investigative journalist, or you're someone who prides themselves on, I'm bringing this information out to you guys so that I can warn you and protect you, and you're not even doing your due diligence to even talk to the other side or even get the full information. You're just receiving emails and clipping together stuff, trying to make stuff fit, giving half truths. Like that should be a red flag for everybody who's watching. Like, what is the incentive for you to do something like that? He claims to be a Christian. Doesn't the Bible say that if you have a problem with your brother to go to him and talk to him? It doesn't say, oh,
it's like he was talking mess about the Hebrew Israelites. He was he went in on everybody.
Yeah, that should show his character.
And I'm like, okay, everybody's trying to screw each other over. I like the fact that yes, the ADDI situation happened, but you guys tried to come in from a positive thing. Listen, there might have been, so this could have been the situation, you know, it might have was going one way and maybe this and that, the government, blah, 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 blah. Like not necessarily, oh no, it's a scam. Pan-Africanism is BS. We're all trying to get over on each other. I mean, there are situations where people try to get over on each other, but I don't think that a person that's a doctor that's going to spend all this time putting this whole organization together is going to do. And then he brought up another organization that she had and said, well, that was a scam too. But then when you try to sit down and talk to him, it's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I know what's going on. And then try to then further, maybe that's the thing. Because sometimes on YouTube, beef sells, right? That's how you get your views up. Let's have beef, you know? But the thing is that that's going to turn people away from going to, because I was considering that, but the way that this whole thing and the information that's been going out, I was going to come to Tanzania. I got kind of like scared, like, oh my God, like what's going on?
Yeah, that's the objective. It may not be intentional, it may be, but that's the ultimate objective. He understands that a lot of our people are gullible and they just want to go towards something that's sensational. So that is what sells. And that is the MO of the individual. There's no original content that's being produced. There's nothing of originality. There's nothing creative that's coming from there. It's all responses to other people working, other people doing things.
Celebrity gossip.
Yeah, celebrity gossip. So you that's the type of individual that is operating over there. And that is, you know,
A
that
chatty
is...
patty.
Say that again?
A chatty patty.
Yeah, that's a word too. But as a man, if you deep down, you know when you're not handling things the way that you're supposed to handle them. You know, you don't have certain things in order. You're still acting in a certain way. So deep down, you really feel like how you are. And I don't have to say it, but you know how you feel deep within yourself for what you're truly doing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he's also able to ride off into the sunset without his name being on things because he's using an alias. So there's a lot of different factors that's benefiting this individual from pushing negativity out and going down that path.
Yeah, and then for somebody to live in Africa but say, oh, I don't want you niggas to come to Africa. And it's like, he don't want nobody to come to Uganda. Why is that? Because there's a lot of people who want to come to Uganda and do something to him. So he's like, I see him, he's beefing with people. People be coming on his live stream talking about they gonna F him up and all sorts of type of stuff. You know? So I feel like he's trying to hide off in Uganda and tell other people not to come there so that he can do his dirt in peace and so that people won't, you know, like pull up on him or tell him about himself. So he feel like he's safe in Uganda because he's in Africa and nobody really wants to go to Uganda. You know, and he's telling people, oh, don't come. Everybody's scamming. Oh, if they selling consultations and courses, they scamming. And he's not.
Since when is consultation and courses a scam, man? Because if you have information,
because O'Shea says so. That's why it's a scam.
Man, you know how many people sell courses? If you have if you have any information about something and you can package it up nice enough and someone can learn off it, people are doing that left and right. And you should also start a school community while you're at it too. SKOOL. Start one of those.
I got one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what's wrong with teaching people what you know?
You know, that's why he's upset because he see that we have multiple streams of income, and then he's trying to frame it like, oh, they're just making their money off the diaspora, acting like we don't work locally in the community, like I don't teach, like he don't do real estate in the community, like he don't do public speaking. He don't want to talk about the other stuff. He just wants to focus on the fact that we do offer consultations. Why? Because people ask us, hey, do you have a consultation? I want to talk to you personally about what's going on in Africa. Mind you, we have
people in the red pill community and call themselves a relationship expert and charge people $50 to $150 and they ain't got no certifications of shit.
Man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't get the hell up out, I'm sorry, I'm getting pissed off because that's messed up at what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a child, y'all got children, and y'all are trying to raise y'all kids in the right way, and someone got the nerve to come against y'all and y'all trying to do the right thing. Yeah, that's BS. Go ahead, y'all. Sorry, I'm getting crunk. Let me
The
stop.
only other thing I wanted to say is that, you know, he's purposely creating a false narrative. And because he knows that people aren't going to go verify what he's saying, he can run off with it, you know. And, you know, we have 700 plus videos where we're giving people free information, free game on how to get to Africa, how you can get your business license, how you can, how you get your bank account set up. What's your mindset you need to have when you come to Africa? We've done all of this stuff. So like everything is free, but it's like for those who want to talk to us, should we sit around and talk to people on the phone all day for free? How can we?
Hell no, you shouldn't.
Exactly. It's just
Who got the time to do all that? Listen, look, I'm even a priest, right? People expect us if we gonna do divination, just do it for free. Oh, well, you a priest, you supposed to be doing it for God anyway. Honey, we'd be dead over here. Just keep doing for free, and just giving and giving and giving and giving. You can't live your life doing that. Who gonna just keep doing that?
Yeah.
Nobody can just keep giving and keep giving. They'll eat you up. They'll eat you alive. Okay,
Man,
you have to charge. People have to charge for their time.
Yep.
Exactly.
And if you guys are powerful and y'all are doing great in what y'all are doing, continue up the good work. Well, let's list off some of the projects that you guys have going on. So you have your T3andMe.
Mm-hmm.
Is your website T3andMe? ANDME?
Yeah, ANDME. Yeah.
T3andme.org.
Yeah.
.org. Okay, and that's you guys' website. I know that you also have you do the herbs and everything like that. Is the best way to reach you to get the herbs and to get all the different things that you guys are doing on the T3andme.org website?
We actually have a separate website for the herbal stuff.
Okay.
So I can send it to you, but it's Ford's Herbal Doula Services.com. Ford's Herbal Doula Services.com. And I also offer clinical herbal consultations for people who are interested in sitting down and getting information and a plan on what herbs they can use, what lifestyle changes they can make, and dietary changes in order to heal from whatever ailment that they're facing. And I also have an herbal academy where I teach people how to formulate different herbs and how to set up a FDA and GMP compliant herbal business from whatever region they're at in the world. So,
Wow, that's it. So why should you give that away for free?
Because O'Shea Boo Jackson said so.
And I bet you can't get him to do nothing for free.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He won't even need nobody to help them if they come to Uganda.
Right. So what are we doing? Okay, you have this couple here that's willing to help out the community, and you got people that want to badmouth them, and they're not even in the same country in Africa. I'm trying to figure out how is one person that's all the way in Uganda talking mess to a person all the way in Tanzania and got so much to say about them. That's crazy to me.
Red flag.
Hello, if y'all people need this, and see, this is why Black people can't get nowhere. That's why we can't get ahead, is because we're too busy pulling each other down. And then when we want to have a word with each other and say, "Listen, brother, you got the wrong information," it's like you want to keep the narrative up so bad that you like, no, I know what's going on. I got all the information, and I got all the detail. Well, you better not say nothing. I'm gonna put it up online and I'm promoting it. This your brother. Oh shit, Charlie. It's his. Like, come on now, stop it, bro.
Friday, you go,
man. But it really helped us more than anything. That's the craziest part. Though it hurt.
Hey, it brought more people. Like, who's this T3andMe? Who are they?
Man.
I never
you
heard
see
of them
the
before.
channel is elevating. Like, they're not. That's the crazy part. I'm like, y'all know y'all not stopping nothing, right? Like, had people come to us and say, "Hey, I saw this person talking about you on their channel, and I came over here, and I'm so happy they was talking about you because now I'm subscribed and I want to help do X, Y, Z, or I want to inquire about your services." So,
Man, I knew about y'all ever since I saw that baby grab that popsicle so hard. It was tripping.
Yeah.
That baby was hungry. That baby said, "What's that? What?" That baby almost ripped that whole popsicle out. Tried to eat it tried to take the wrapper off. That was funny. That was a funny video, y'all. And see, I said, well, these people look, they kind of conscious though. So I started like looking at y'all profile, like, well, wait, but these people are actually like they're not just regular TikTok, whatever, Instagram, whatever I saw the video on. They're not just and then okay, they went to Africa. So I've been like kind of following y'all as time has gone on. But I didn't really know all the like stories and whatever's going on, and I've been trying to like, okay, and then when I found out that y'all like with the Burkina Faso, that's when I reached out because I said, okay, he knows what's going on about the Burkina Faso thing. I wanted him to talk about that, which I do definitely. Like I said, I definitely want to bring you back to start to talk about the herbs and all the different things. I want to really get into this the herb stuff and have another live where we talk about that. And I want to continue this relationship because I think that it's a great build, going on that's happening here. I think people need to because a lot of my audience, it's the sonnetter, the conscious crowd.
Okay, yeah, I used to listen to that back in the day. I like that.
Yeah, so my audience is that audience, and a lot of them, there is a lot of Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. I used to work with a guy named Mighty Hebrew on this channel. We did a lot of stuff with the people in Dimona, the Hebrew, not the IUIC. So. Okay. I did like a lot of stuff with them, but I also within the Ephod community. So people, the Babalao here was putting together people to actually go to Burkina Faso. So I think that when we get a chance, I would like to get into what nations should we go to. I know you guys also have this information on your channel. I might just review one of your videos and just leave it at that. But I definitely want to bring you guys back to talk about herbs, natural living, all those different things as well. Because that's really a subject I wanted to get into. But I really wanted to attack this whole attack on Pan-Africanism.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
No
we're on the front line, so y'all just keep us in y'all prayers and keep supporting the efforts. Share the videos. Like the only way to combat a false narrative is with the truth, So the more we keep having these conversations, and really, bringing to light what's really going on is how we're going to continue to win and to unite with those of us who are of a like mind. Because we understand some people, we just got to lead them where they at. They're not going to get it. They don't want to get it. They're there to do a specific job. So a lot of people, we just have to leave where they're at for now, and hopefully they get it in the future. But for now, we just deal with those of us who understand what's going on.
Yeah. One quick last question: relationships in this situation. You go over there with your loved one. Mm-hmm. How hard is it to not to maintain? I mean, can it create any restraint on a marriage when you're going over into a situation like this and trying to maintain in this situation? Does it bring you closer together? Did you find yourselves like ready to quit at some point? Like, how did you guys maintain your relationship up to this point with this move?
Good question.
That is a good question.
I'll let you go first.
To be honest, like it wasn't always easy, like in relationships in general and marriages, like you go through ups and downs. Like you have seasons where, like you guys are meshing well, and then you have situations where, especially like with everything that's going on, you have stress involved. You have, like just the stress of everything that's going on. So it can like negatively impact your relationship. So I'm not going to sit up and act like everything always been peaches and cream with us. We have had.
They freezing out again. We're gonna have to just bring them back to and I definitely want to do a whole relationship discussion with them. Of course, it's kind of getting late at night on their side, so the internet's kind of glitching out. But let me tell them they lost their connection. Oh no. Well, guys, this has been a great show. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties that's been happening throughout it. Unfortunately, when you're, we need to get over there and help them with the internet connections in Africa. We need to get them, we got to help go over there and figure out how to But listen, I want to thank you guys for checking us out at Alchemizing Energy. This has been your host, DJ Genesis. Thank you to T3 and me, and peace.
Mission, trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Making a transition. I'm on a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transitioning.